Hello, my name is Renee Rossi, and I'll be reading from my new poetry collection that's forthcoming from Main Street Rag, entitled, I Want to Be the Largest Animal That Was Never Missed Once She Became Extinct. A little bit about me. I'm a mother, an enthusiastic gardener. I practiced as an ear, nose, and throat surgeon many years, and then trained in holistic medicine. I currently teach Western integration. And I live in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. I love to mix the natural world, science, medicine, all of it together in my poetry. And I'm keenly interested in the senses. As W.B. Yeats said, the world is full of magic things, patiently waiting for our senses to grow sharper. So my first poem is Belief in Anything is an Attempt to Label the Mystery. And that's after the monk Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche's. My mother wrist deep in dishwater comes to mind when I feel this wood table scratched to the marrow, thinking all this had to be so and could not be otherwise. Chickadees who mate for life darting past the window. And how to be one of them, bold with humility. The snow is deep, the roads have been plowed, and snow buntings lift a little swag from spent cornfields. Yet I still see my mother as a young woman in a magazine ad, pushing a new vacuum cleaner, her hair ratted and pulled back, her volcano of a mouth lipstick red. I only ever saw her vacuum with a Kent Long hanging sideways from that mouth. Once I brought her a picture of my dissection from gross anatomy class. A smoker's lungs, chalky, gray, and black, speckled with a little pink. Was that really compassion? I ask myself now. Here's to the Maxwell coffee can with holes poked in its lid and a pledge rag used to polish between captains' chairs' rungs. Or to the Rouge River's stench of rendered animal fat transformed into a stockpot of urban stew. And to my asthmatic mother, smoking. When I graduated from medical school, she cried. Not for joy, but for what had been denied her, how I could wield a scalpel and cut out the blight. I have a series of poems in my new poetry collection that are acrostic after art pieces or art installations. And this one is from an installation at the Mass MoCA Museum in North Adams, Massachusetts. It's entitled Blue Poem, and it's after wall drawings by Saul LeWitt. In my mother's blue heart lived a locked box of butterflies. A sea of wings fluttered against the lid. Only we could never see them. She never opened that lid. We imagine all the instars trying to pupate or living off that glossy vegetation, growing on her valves. We children were host plants, passion vine and Joe pieweed, each named for our nectar. How we drank from the sluice ponds of childhood. My mother had veins in her wings, a hard life painted shut, and shellacked with a hard walnut finish. And this next poem is about Earth's inner orbit. And my older son works with multi-array satellite company. And so this is dedicated to my oldest son, Ryan. Graveyard orbits. I imagine space debris as little regrets. These metallic shards rotate in graveyard orbits that gravity keeps in check at the velocity of dream speed. Like this dream I have of my son sprouting tadpoles from his head, absorbing into clouds a rain of frogs. He studies satellites, so I ask him, where is our satellite in Earth's low orbit? I know I don't have a reservoir for all of Earth's trauma, yet there's a payload circling above us with pieces of it. Our ancestors' gold wedding bands, our welded ephemera, our future collisions. And my last poem is the title poem of this collection. I want to be the largest animal that was never missed once she became extinct. I want the aqua blue blanket to fold itself into celadon knots and call itself ocean once again. I want the bears to go to sleep in Vermont at the right time and the frogs to wake not too early. I want to see the herpetologist looking for wood frogs early spring nights. I want larval offerings and the ironwood tree to withstand the next hurricane. I want to press the delete button in the middle of my forehead, if need be. I want to set the story straight that my great aunt didn't die in childbirth, that my grandmother didn't have a blue baby and spend the rest of her life dying of that euphemism, lost child, don't fill in for the real thing. I want to imitate the cooing doves and the chirping red-capped birds, to catch the coconuts rolling in with the tide, where nightmares get their bones set straight. I want a team to relieve the bone-crunching pain of knowing there's an epidemic somewhere, somehow, in this immense world, and have a bandwidth wider than one of my old age hairs to absorb it all. I want to store in memory these clouds crafted into angel shape by the wind. I want to be the T cells whipped into action in the dying storm of the universe's wounds. I want to be the chorus of frogs in spring, the bear tipping over the compost bin, a woodchuck scampering into his hole. I want the bark, the scent of spider lilies crushing the breeze, to be so absolutely sure that chicks walking by right now will make it into pullets, that the rooster will crow when I turn my flashlight on tonight. Which Stoic said that the larger our island of knowledge, the greater our shore of ignorance. I want to be the one who stands up and says she's fighting for ignorance right now. I want to learn about my absence from this world in advance, like a preview of a movie that will not make the big screen. Thank you so much for your attention.